Welcome, Chilizens. I'm very happy to be here today. As you know, we are going to celebrate our 8th anniversary in the next few days, and I think it's the perfect timing to talk about Chiliz 2030. I'm gonna go back a little bit in time about what we've done, but most importantly, I'm gonna talk about what we are planning to launch and where we are going. So here we go. At Chiliz, it's been 8 years. 8 years that we think that fans should not just be spectators, but active participants in the sports that they love or the community that they love. And that's why we partner with more than 80 sports properties all over the world, generated more than $700 million for the sports industry since we launched our product. We invented the concept of fan tokens, this digital asset class that helps fans to be more connected to clubs. And that's something we're going to continue to invest. I'm going to disclose a little bit more about the vision on how fan tokens are going to evolve and where they're going to evolve. The reality check is that fan tokens have been a $1 billion market cap. And that's great. We deliver thousands of thousands of experiences, tickets, merchandise, VIP experiences, which really prove the use case of blockchain in sports. But that was just the first 8 years. Where are we going now? What is the next frontier? I think it's important today to say that we are targeting or we are exploring how can we reach the $1 trillion market of the sports industry, or should I say the sports ownership. Chiliz 2030 is all about SportFi. And SportFi, sports finance or sports DeFi, is about unlocking $1 trillion opportunity. Chiliz used to be mainly a consumer-facing product through socials.com, the fan tokens, and everything else we've developed. Now we're going to focus on becoming this number one in the world, industry-grade layer financial framework for the sports industry, helping becoming this valuable framework, regulated, allowing sports property to actually monetize their IP even more. When we started in 2018, we had to educate a lot. Fans, sports property, crypto industry. Here we are 8 years later, doubling down on our vision, working with all of these sports property in order to engage, of course, fans, monetize these IPs, these communities, and creating what we believe SportFi is, which is the ultimate use case, or one of the ultimate use cases in blockchain. Chiliz has been working with the biggest brands in the world. FC Barcelona, Paris Saint-Germain, Inter Milan, AC Milan, Arsenal, Man City, Tottenham, Atletico Madrid, Juventus, Roma, you name it. Team from all over the world, UFC, PFL, Brazilian team, Turkish team. We've partnered with, we have a joint venture in Japan with SBI. We are working with the biggest internet company in Korea called NeverPay. And all of this initiative helped Chiliz to make what it is today, the leader in Web3, or should I say, in SportFi. Now, we love to innovate. One of these innovations, of course, are the fan tokens. With the fan tokens, users, fans, token holders were able to vote on-chain on real decision. Real decision like what's going to be the design of the jersey next season, what's going to be the music in the stadium every time we score a goal, what is the number of the player that just got signed in the team. This kind of real, concrete use case has been done by Chiliz for the last 8 years on-chain. Another innovation that we always like to talk about is the game scored ball, where fans for the first time in Korea and in Italy were able to get the real ball that scored during a match and that was authenticated on the blockchains through an NFT on Chiliz Chain. Chiliz has always been at the forefront of innovation. And now it is for us the time to go to the next stage. Let's dive in Chiliz 2030. So when you look at Chiliz, we've been very good in working with the sports space. Great. But we think now that we need to focus a little bit more on the institutional phase. We need to work more in the US especially. We need to work more with traditional investors to grow the SportFi industry. And especially when you look at real world asset. Chiliz has been working with some initiative already in Brazil. You can actually buy or finance TV rights with some clubs on chain on Chiliz Chain. And that's pretty cool. But I think the next main initiative that Chiliz are going to launch are more exciting and much bigger. There are three main pillars of growth for Chiliz 2030. The first one are fan tokens. Fan tokens has been living on the Chiliz ecosystem and the Socios ecosystem. That's great. That's how we grew successfully. But we think we need to make this IP, the biggest brand in the world, available to much more users, fans, and ecosystem. So today we're announcing that fan tokens will become Omni-Chain. Yes, fan tokens are going to exist on-chain outside of Chiliz. We partner with Layer 0 in order to create the network of bridges or communication messagings with other chains. We will announce the first chain in the next few weeks, and we will explain eventually what are the initiatives we will launch with each of these chains. But the goal here is to make the fan tokens, to make these teams, these assets, this digital asset class available everywhere. The same way they were available on many crypto exchanges, now we think they need to be available on more blockchain ecosystem. That's the only way to grow them, and that's also a way to grow Chiliz. On top of becoming multi-chain or omni-chain with the distribution, we are also going to upgrade and improve the tokenomics of the fan tokens. We are going to launch in the next few weeks and few months, either for new tokens and for old tokens, something that we call fan token play, which are gamified tokenomics. What does it mean? It means that the dynamic supply of the token will either mint or burn based on sports result. The whole idea behind this is to gamify and give more trading opportunity and make it more appealing for people all over the world to engage not only for the utility that the fan tokens are already providing, but for the sports angle around it. And when you mix gamified tokenomics and multi-chain, you actually increase significantly the opportunities of DeFi. We are going to partner with some of the biggest DeFi ecosystem, DeFi partners, to make fan tokens great again. Growing the fan token asset class means two things. It's not only, of course, having access to new liquidity, thanks to the omni-chain and multi-chain strategy, but it's also launching new fan tokens, either in Europe, but most importantly, in the US. Regulation always has been important for Chiliz. Socios.com, fan tokens are actually regulated under the MiCA regulation in Europe. And we've been working for a very long time to understand how getting regulatory clarity in the US. Actually, if you remember, in 21-22, we did sign 27 NBA teams, 13 NFL teams, the whole MLS, some NHL teams, UFC, and many others. We've never been able really to launch any product from the US or targeting the US market. We feel that the regulatory framework is getting more and more clear. Actually, there is the Clarity Act coming in hopefully a few weeks. We have some conversation with regulators to make sure that we're going to be able to launch, finally, fan tokens in the US. We are very confident that will happen in the next few months, and Chiliz will invest heavily in the US market to be leader in fan tokens and sports tokenization. So 2026 is going to be the year where not only the World Cup is happening in the US, and of course, we are going to launch new national team fan tokens for the World Cup, making the existing national team tokens, Argentina, Portugal, Italy, and others becoming multi-chain, becoming gamified tokenomics. So it's going to allow us to actually innovate and also grow in that market particularly. The second pillar is the Chiliz Chain. Chiliz Chain will become the global ledger for sport. It's not about volume, it's about quality. It's about the niche and the industry we are worldwide leader in. Chiliz Chain is becoming this institutional grade settlement layer for the sports finance or SportFi. And for that, we're gonna upgrade and innovate in few ways. The main initiatives are the following. One of the biggest one is the Chiliz buyback. Every time fan tokens will be sold, the 10% of the revenue will be used to buy and burn Chiliz. This is the first time in 8 years we are launching this, and the goal is to really create an ecosystem that is sustainable for both Chiliz and fan tokens. The more there are clubs activity, the more there will be buyback and burn. That's the first thing. The second thing is, how do we develop the DeFi narrative or the SportFi narrative on Chiliz Chain? Cayenne is going to become the main DeFi infrastructure on the Chiliz Chain. And I'm very happy to announce that Pepper, the meme coin that was launched on the Chiliz Chain, is going to become the governance token of Cayenne.finance. Cayenne is going to be a sports-focused staking, lending, prediction market, and liquidity tools. It will be the platform that lead any DeFi initiative on Chiliz Chain. And Socios.com is also going to evolve. It's going to evolve from a fan engagement platform to a full SportFi hub. A hub where you have, of course, your wallet, where you have min burn tracking, the Gamified tokenomics of fan tokens. You're going to have DeFi integration of course, Cayenne and Pepper and every other initiative. And you're going to have prediction, stacking, and leaderboards. And the third pillar is, how do we make Chiliz a leading protocol in the $1 trillion unlock sports industry? Our main focus here are going to be access or launching to real-world assets. We already launched initiative in Brazil where you can actually tokenize sports rights for teams, and that was the first test. That's great, but we think the ultimate use case for us and where we're gonna perform is about tokenizing sports property. Yes, we do intend to buy minority shares of some of the biggest sports teams in the world, especially the teams we are already working with. Imagine having fan tokens where you have not only utility, but at some points, you may gonna have access to some equity. Our job, our goal is to bring this on Chiliz Chain as a protocol and making, for the first time ever, or giving access for the first time ever, funds to real ownership. In order to develop this $1 trillion opportunity of tokenization of sports industry and sports property, we need to become more institutional. We need to make Chiliz as a product, as a brand, as initiative, to become more accessible to institutions. And that's why we've been discussing since last summer with some listed company that wanted to launch a digital asset treasury using Chiliz. And we've been working with them for the last 6-8 months. And we are very confident that in the next few weeks, maybe a couple of months, you will see the first digital asset treasury carrying Chiliz. We will be very supportive of this initiative because we think it will give access and it will give visibility to the vision that we are building for the last 8 years. Chiliz Vision 2030 starts in 2026. It will start with the launch of fan token play, which are the fan token becoming Omni-Chain, thanks to layer 0, and also the Gamified tokenomics based on performance or sports performance of the team. It will also start with DeFi initiative being launched on Cayenne Finance, and Pepper becoming the governance token. It will also start with us heavily investing in the US to launch new tokens ahead of the World Cup. It will also start with us supporting access to institutional investors through the Digital Asset Treasury Initiative. And we will start the launch of the first sports tokenization of sports property. That's while Chiliz will launch in 2026 and will continue to invest and develop towards 2030. Thanks, Chilizens, for listening to me, and stay tuned for the upcoming launches.